Look what I picked up from a garage sale. This was way before the virus thing. I think this was last summer. I picked both of these up for, they had $5 each, but I got them both for $5. And I always intended on playing them, but I just, you put them away. And trying to be careful not scratch them here. Is that even a 78 RPM? I'm not sure. Well, anyway, this one for sure is the old 78 RPM record. And beans were still on lockdown. I've been kind of playing around with some of this stuff. I thought, boy, it'd be cool to listen to some of these old records, just to see what's on them, Thought it'd be kind of cool to play them anyway. Boy, they sure are heavy and thick, man. I mean, compared to the 33 and a third LP records, yeah, they're thick and they're heavy. I mean, you pick this whole album up and it's heavy. And I dabble with I like my vintage audio. I have the turntable, and I got a good radio with good speakers. Got the radio on right now. And I do have a really good turntable, and I do have a pretty good LP collection. But then I was looking and I thought, well, wait a minute. I can't play these. I only got the 33 and a third, the big LP records, and I do have the adapter to play the 45s, but I can't play the 78s. But it's a good thing this didn't have the 78 RPM, because as I was doing some reading on the internet, you can actually damage an LP needle by trying to play these older style records. These newer needles were not designed to play 45s. So using this turntable is obviously out of the question. I'm thinking, well, how the heck am I going to play these? And yeah, I know I could probably go on eBay and do some looking. I'm sure I could find a good turntable somewhere, but I thought, I got to have something. I mean, I'm a pack rat. I got junk all over the place. I got old computers, old projectors, and just, I'm a 41-year-old man. I've collected a lot of stuff over the years. Started digging through some garbage, and hold on here. Digging through garbage, I did come across this buried deep in a pile of junk. This originally came from an old Lloyd's, Lloyds, Lloyd's stereo my parents had many years ago when I was a kid. It had the turntable on top. It looked kind of like that one, but it was a much cheaper model. It had the AM, FM tuner, and then on the side it had the 8-track tape player, and then on top it had a turntable. And if I remember correctly, I want to say 14, 15 years old at the time. It was the only really good stereo I had at the time when I was a kid. And of course, when you're a kid, what do? When nobody's home, you blast that stinking old stereo as loud as possible. And it handled well, but doing so over the years, it finally smoked the amplifier. And I was blasting some good old rock and roll, and all of a sudden I could smell smoke in my room, and sure enough, smoke was wafting coming out of it, and it was sounding funny, and I smoked it. And I think I ended up just junking the whole thing, and somehow I saved at least the turntable from it. So this is the original turntable from a Lloyd's stereo, and I was looking, and it does have that third speed I need, that 78 RPM. And I started looking and digging and looking and digging through more junk, and I do believe this is the proper needle I need for it, because if you look, it's hard to see. On one side, I'm going to try to get this to focus. On one side of the needle, it says LP, which is for long play records. That's got the diamond needle. But if you flip it to the other side, it says that. And I'm thinking I can put this needle in here. And obviously I got to do a lot of cleaning up here. I'm hoping this old girl still has some life in it. I got to do some more research and looking, but I'm pretty sure off the top of my head this is where the sound comes out left and right. I'm sure this does not have any preamp or nothing in it, but luckily my vintage stereo there already has a built-in phono preamp, so I should be able to just hook these two lines directly to the phono input. And I'm pretty sure it just runs off of 120 volt. Obviously I'm going to do some voltage checking, but I'm pretty sure this is just a 120 volt motor. So you know what that looks like? That almost looks like the same kind of Molex plug that's used on computers. I got plenty of them laying around, so I could cut one of them up and maybe put a plug-in on it and get some RCA cables. I'm thinking I can maybe make this work. I'm gonna have to maybe cobble together some kind of box to hold it, but I'm gonna see what I can do with this, just to see what I can make work from home here, just enough so I can play them old records. I'll see what I can come up with. Okay, as usual, I get a little too involved and I forget to record again. I happened to find, digging through the lumber and stuff in the junk pile, I actually found a top off another stereo that originally housed a turntable, and believe it or not, that one fits right in here. It was missing a bottom and a front, so I just took some plywood, and it's crude. This is just slapped together for testing purposes, just so I got some kind of box to hold it. So I got that so far. Did some testing with my own meter and some looking online. Yes, that is a 4-pin Molex connector, same as a computer. So I just took some plugs off a computer power supply and connected this to a standard 120 volt power line. And then I made myself some RC cables to plug into it. I happened to find one with a ground on it even. So I can hook this straight to my receiver. So I got the power and the cables and a box made for it. And of course the next step is cleaning. Cleaning. I noticed that the center spindle, this was not spinning too nice. So I pulled that off and cleaned it out. Let's see if I can get that back on there. I know you want that, because when I would spin it, it would hardly spin. Now see how nice and free it spins? And a little 3-in-1 oil helps. I don't plan on using the auto, where it automatically, originally you could put, this, when you put the spindle back in, you could put a stack of records on there and it would automatically let the next record down. I mean, I oiled some of the gears and stuff in case it does decide to work, but that still seems like it's a little stiff, a little sticky yet. But yeah, just cleaning and picking, and we'll see. I'm gonna do a little more cleaning and put it together, and we'll hook some power up to it. We'll see if it spins. Well, it does turn on. I don't think I have to worry about the auto thing working. There must be a piece missing or something because that won't do anything. But I don't care. I don't need that. I just want to be able to play a record. The 33 speed seems to sound okay. 45 sounds okay, but when I switch to 78, it sounds like it struggles a little bit. If I put my hand on it, there's not much power there. I'm thinking that wheel, there's a little speed control wheel in there. Maybe that's a little dirty or it's a little bit wore. But yeah, the other speeds seem to be okay, but as soon as I try to kick it up to 78, it acts like it really struggles. I might have to play with that a little more. But at least it's spinning. Does that look a little strange to you? I think there's a piece there that doesn't belong. Let's see, how can I show this? I wonder if that ain't a spring that fell off of something. It's just on that shaft. It don't look right to me. Because if you leave it on 33, oops, I gotta plug it in, hold on. Because if you leave it on the slowest speed, the little wheel makes contact, like it should, and then this rubs against the outside of the platter. And if you switch to 45, it goes down to the bigger size, and then the 78s, that's the fastest. But really, the 45 with that goofy spring thing on there, it's almost the same speed. Or either that, this has got to get pushed down. I don't know, it looks suspicious and funny to me. Yeah, maybe that's just got to get pushed down. I don't know. It just don't look right. I'll have to do some looking and thinking here. There, that looks like it makes a little more sense. See, the top one, that's your slower speed, your 33. Then the next one down, a little bigger, is the 45 speed. And then this, I don't know, they must have not got the speed right when they first made this shaft. And I don't know, it just looks like it works. Since I pushed that spring down, it just looks like it'll work better that way. There's the 33. If you switch to 45, it goes to medium speed. And then when you go all the way, it goes to the fastest speed. I think we got that fixed. Yeah, that looks, see how they got the 3 speeds now? So I think that spring just, being it's been kicked around and shoved around, I think it'll be alright. I think we're gonna try it, see how that. Oh yeah, that sounds much better. Hey, if you look at the RPMs, let's say you go to 45, yeah, it slows down. Go to 33 and it goes slower. I think we got this figured out. Looks like about the right speed, and then you go to 45. Oh yeah. I guess the next thing is pop that needle in and we'll see what she does. I do believe I got that installed correctly. Or, I don't know. Yeah, see, that says LP on the top. You want the, or does it go the other way? I want to do some reading online. I ain't sure which way that goes. Well, I got the magnifying glass out. Did some reading online. From what I read, the old 78 records take the wider groove. So I've been looking here with my magnifying glass trying to figure out which side of the needle looks the widest, and I would say that the side that says 78, it looks like that's the wider the wider are the two needles. Because the one on top that says LP, that one looks sharper. So, I don't know. I guess there's only one sure way to find out, but I'm definitely going to have it so this side is down. And we'll try playing it. We'll see what it sounds like, I guess. Well, how convenient is that? I thought, well, I'm going to have to unhook my other turntable. No, I do not. Look, Phono 1, Phono 2. I can hook two turntables to this bad baby. That's one thing nice about these old stereos, boy. Look at the inputs and outputs you got on these suckers. So that's pretty convenient. I'll just make that one turntable too. Alright, moment of truth here. Phono 2. Ooh, I hear a little hum. Now, in theory, I know this ain't the not really supposed to do this, but being this is an older turntable, I don't care if you just lightly touch it with your finger. Ooh, I got sound here. But why do I'm only hearing it out of the left speaker though? No sounds coming out of the right speaker. Why? Come on, got no sound. I'll have to do a little more investigation here. Aha! That's why we got no sound coming out of the right speaker. See that little red wire there? I have to get the soldering key out. See, came dehooked. So I'll have to do a little fixing here. Whew, what a nightmare that was to solder. But I do believe I have it if I touch the needle now. I got sound coming out of both sides. So, let's see here. Give this record the best chance to play decent. Let's see here. Just a little bit of the side I use. Oh yeah. Just a little fluid here. That motor still doesn't have a whole lot of power, but there we go. I'm sure there's some record enthusiasts out there just screaming at me, "No, you're doing it wrong." Well, let's see if this will play. A little volume here. I do hear a little bit of a hum. I'm assuming that's probably because there ain't proper noise filtering, but let's just see. Oh! Jesus, why did that just skipped right across there? Why did it do that? Ugh. I do not like that. Why is that being so weird? Okay, apparently I had it wrong. I flipped the needle back to the LP side and it quit that skipping and it plays really good now. Here. That sounds a little better.
the king for a half a day.
Interesting.
And a peck of all the ladies. And I'm very pleased to say, they're all taking miles to get me on the, and there's one called the dearest. They on the Lord, I mind I'm telling you. Well, one of the boys that's got to the horse Celtic. Of course, you know, we're not allowed to marry in this regiment of men, unless we have the general's permission. And of course, before that we can have the general, you know what that means? You've got to be very well acquainted with the general. Yes, and the general and I are very well acquainted. Very. In fact, the general and I are very thick. Very thick.
Definitely don't sound as good as a LP, but
the general said to me,
being it's so old, I guess it can.
This is confidential, this is between you and I. We were sitting in the canteen the other night there, having a couple of bottles of stout and just sitting and talking and speaking to one another. He said, Danny, he said, I've been hearing that the regiment's going to be ordered abroad, and if that's the case, if you'll take command of the colours. I said, but who's to be looking after the canteen? Oh, he said, I will. I said, will you? If you do, said I, that's where we'll keep the colours. They're going from the canteen and talking about this girl of mine. Mind, I'm telling you. In my day, upon the day, the sweetest sugar candy, and the very on the Sunday, and the weary, for my dearie. I was raised to lose my foot and lose my daisy. My daisy. Oh, daisy. She's the sweetest sugar candy. It's very on the Sunday and the weary. Oh, for my dearie. I was raised to lose my foot and lose my daisy. I would rather lose my foot than lose my daisy. Right now, I'm telling you, you've seen other boys, I don't want to say anything, but get me.
see how many copyright claims I get on that. Let's see, the auto thing doesn't work on this one, so. But at least it's playable. I think what I am going to do though is once this coronavirus thing settles down a little bit, I think I am going to do some looking on eBay and maybe looking to getting a proper record player that can play 78. So I'm sure that old needle in this old turntable is not good for these old records. But I'm just curious just to see if I could make something work here, but it was interesting anyway. Want to see what we was playing here. It's on the other side. When I was 21, I may have to play the other side a little bit. Now I'm just curious. Let's see. I suppose take a little bit of the dust off. They're not too dirty.
I never had lots of money, but I always lots of fun. Oh, I was a was 21. I never had lots of money, but I'd always lots of fun. Oh, I was a hell. And my first indeed begun on the very, very, very next when I was 21.
Interesting anyway. Yeah, it definitely ain't the best sounding, and I'm sure it probably sounds even worse with just a camera microphone. So, yeah, before I play around anymore, I'm probably definitely going to have to look into a proper turntable to play them old 78s. But, it was interesting anyway. Nice to know this one still kind of works. So, anyway, that was fun and interesting. Jumped over to the internet computer. Here's a picture of that old Lloyd stereo I was talking about back in the day. It's one of my first stereos, and yeah, there's the turntable. It was a good stereo, I mean, for the time. Had the old 8-track tape player, and so yeah, kind of cool. Anyway, I wouldn't take any of my advice when it comes to this old record stuff. I was just basically fooling around. If you really want to get into playing old records and LPs, and you want to know how to do it the right way, step by step, I highly recommend going to this channel. It's called Vinyl Eyes, VINYLEIEZZ. He tells you step by step how to get into it, what to buy.
Hey friends, welcome to Vinylize. I'm Jarrett New, and I make videos about vinyl records and record collecting in today's world. On this channel we talk about everything from turntables to cassettes, CDs, speakers, headphones, bands, albums, and tons of other music related stuff.
But yeah, that's a very, very good channel to check out to really get into that. Another one I like to watch every once in a while is called Modern Classic. He talks a little, he's got a couple of videos about old vintage turntables and record players.
This is a video about turntables, and it's a video that would not have been possible without the services of Baiyi. I've talked about Baiyi before, whenever using a Sony PS-LX3 turntable from 1982, sort of the very end for the golden age of turntables, just before CD took off. I love my PS-LX3, but it is getting old and it's starting to show it.
But yeah, he's pretty good. You can get some pretty good tips on how to fix and restore old turntables and all that stuff. So it's something to look into. Anyway, I had enough fun for today. I'll probably spend the rest of the day. Maybe I'll go on eBay and look at some, see if I can find a halfway decent turntable with a 78 RPM speed, and maybe find the proper needle or stylus for playing them. Maybe I'll get a little better sound than I did with what I tried to put together with the junk I had today. But anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.